Thank you for watching, liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing right now. Live on YouTube once again. Thank you everybody for joining us. We had over 100 of you like this video before it even began. Scheduled it about an hour or so ago, and so I'm very grateful if you were able to join us live for the unboxing of this, the Nokia Lumia 928. Although, as the subject line suggests, you may also be here for the comparison between the 928, the 925, and the 920. So I'm going to do my best to do all of these things all within the same video live on YouTube. Let me go ahead and make sure comments are coming in. Are we good? I think we are. You never really know with YouTube Live. And now, I don't know if you guys caught this bit of news, but YouTube is now allowing any publisher or producer to stream live on YouTube. So I think you have to have 1,000 subscribers and have your account in good standing. Just another bit of YouTube news coming down the pike on today. A day that is really full of Google announcements, but hey, I'm here with a Windows Phone, specifically through my connections. I was able to get a hold of this to be able to unbox it for you. I'm very grateful I was able to do this. Up until now, I had been using the HTC Windows Phone 8X as my go-to Windows Phone device. It was okay. It was better than anything else I had, but I was never really happy with the 8X, if only because of the polycarbonate shell, combined with the rather awkward placement and not just positioning, but the use of the volume rocker switch and the power button. They were flush, as it seems to be the case with a lot of newer HTC phones. So despite me having this as the go-to Windows phone, I have a feeling that the Nokia Lumia 928 will become quickly my go-to Windows phone experience. The idea of going with Windows Phone over, say, alternative platforms, is that it's not that you're just rooting for an underdog. It's that you really appreciate the way Microsoft is approaching this ecosystem. Although today they got their hand slapped by Google, speaking of YouTube and Google and Microsoft, apparently Microsoft has to take down the YouTube app available on Windows Phone. They got a cease and desist from Google. Isn't that crazy? I was okay. I had no idea. Yes, thank you, Azim Mohammed, telling me to keep the stash. Again, why are the top comments on my videos for the past 2 days anything related to the mustache? So, before I go too much further into the unboxing, let me first talk a bit. Yes, I did not realize I would be color coordinated my shirt with the box. This arrived today. So, there are some differences between the 920 and the 928, and certainly the 925 as well. Probably the most dramatic difference between the 920 and the 928 would be the screen. Instead of Pentile, now you would have an AMOLED screen with the 928 and the 925. The 928 also has 3 high amp mics, which makes the sound a bit more clear, especially in louder environments. That, of course, the difference between a 920 and a 928. It's about an ounce or so lighter than the 920. It has a different, as we get to the unboxing part, the case is different. This is made of aluminum. Depending on where you get your 928 only on Verizon or the 925 on T-Mobile, you could get a different set of colors, black and white versus silver and gray. Other than that, I mean, there are very few differences between the three. They kind of come from the same family. The most dramatic differences between the 928 and the 925, the 925 has 6 lenses as compared to 5 lenses in the 928. That being said, even though you can get photos or shoot photos with a higher ISO with the 925, the 928 has a xenon flash, which is very, very helpful, especially with night scenes. So if you're into night photography, you're going to be happier with the 928 over the 925, one difference. The 925 is lighter than the 928. The 925 comes in 16 gigs or 32 gig flavors versus the 928, which is just 32 gigs, much like the 920. Dual LED flash on the 925 versus what I had just noted before, the xenon flash in the 928. This will be my first xenon flash device, or power device at least, as far as the flash is concerned. So I cannot wait to take some sample images with this, share them on all my social networks, Facebook, Google+, Twitter. You'll know if you're following me on any of those places. Another thing that I definitely wanted to note is the Qi options. It comes built in with a 928, and that would be the wireless charging, QI, and I do believe It's pronounced Qi. Correct me if I'm wrong. That's how I seem to remember it. You can get Qi wireless charging with an additional add-on case or cover for the 925. So those are really the biggest differences between the 925, the 928s, and the 920. If you have a 920, is it worth upgrading? I don't know. That's completely up to you. Depends on if you have money to spend. If you're up for renewal, you can get it subsidized, for about 99 bucks, what have you. And I believe there's some rebates even going on with certain carriers as well, so you can save money from there. It depends. It really honestly depends. Is that xenon flash enough for you? Maybe. Is having 3 microphones with the high amp mics built in important if you talk in loud environments or you listen in loud environments? It's up to you. Is that screen difference going from Pentile to AMOLED, is that going to be a huge difference? Well, it might be. OLED is very, very nice. So I would never take away from that. Is there a blanket answer to that question? Should I upgrade? It's completely up to you. I just wanted to lay out the options, the specifications, as it were. So as I said, this is the Windows Phone. Well, one of the Windows phones, not the Windows Phone, keep in mind. The Nokia Lumia 928. Inside we should find the USB charger, I would hope, the data cable, micro USB assumedly, a quick reference guide, product safety, blah, 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 and a global support brochure. So let's go ahead and slide her open. Easy. Look at that. There's Verizon's logo. Gotta be careful. Here comes the unboxing part. The part which you might have showed up for. I never know. Oh yeah, SIM card there. And there she is. Kind of blocky. It's my first impression. This apparently is the white variety. As I said before, the other option would be black on Verizon with the 928. Yeah, the edges definitely seem a bit more pronounced. I wouldn't say sharper. Not as curved as the 920. So it's just something to note. Feels sturdy, does not feel cheap at all. Not super light, but not super heavy, kind of in between. If I were just to do a weight test, just to give you a gauge differences, there's the 928. The 8X is definitely a hell of a lot lighter, but hey, it's a polycarbonate case there. The 925, as I said, would be lighter than this. This is about an ounce lighter than the 920. So if you thought the 920 was light, you're going to think the 920 is even lighter, because it is, empirically speaking. So we've got a sticker up front explaining a little more about where all the buttons are positioned and the different features on this particular phone. It's here. Yeah, it makes sense. Camera key, power lock, volume, the charger or USB port on top. In fact, I believe everything is on top. On the bottom, nothing. On this side, nothing. On this side, there's the camera button, the volume rocker switch, and on top, everything else. Which is kind of nice. You don't have to fumble. You just know you can just go right to the top and not have to worry about anything else. And I believe your SIM tray, yep, your SIM door. They call it a SIM door. I always called it a SIM tray. Maybe it's just me. Then you've got the headset jack right up there, as well as what would likely be one of the microphones, the little pinhole there. Checking comments. Since I do this live, I like checking the comments in the YouTube feed just to make sure I'm answering questions as they kind of come in. I just went to Lowe's. Okay, thank you, Samuel. Let's try to keep it on topic. This is why I try to read comments that are worth reading. Sometimes I catch a doozy. All right, let's go ahead and remove the sticker and boot her up. Oh, look at that. I thought I was going to eject. I thought I was going to remove the sticker by pulling this off. No, I ejected the SIM door. I think that's a distant cousin to Simba. The SIM door can pop open there. See if I can get it back in the right way. I could insert the SIM, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. There we go. We'll just pull that away. There's the screen. Look at that screen. Beautiful screen. Wait till we boot it up, and we will do that. Have no fear. This is a hands-on unboxing, initial impressions, all in one video just for you. And if you like the way I do things, then hopefully you subscribe to this channel. See here, up top, we've got the Nokia label. It's not really a label. I guess it's just their, it's their logo, Nokia. And then the Verizon label or logo right above the screen. At the bottom, we've got the back button, Windows button, and the search button. So it's like a standard phone. I'm not exactly sure why there's so many. It feels like NASCAR to me already. So many things to look at right there on the front of the phone. So, I'm going to go ahead and boot her up for the first time, give you first peek here. And as I do this, I'm checking. Strength test it, Chris? No. Maybe towards the end of time when I'm no longer using it. Where is the power button? It told me. So it's a power button right underneath the volume rocker switch. Yep. Felt a little vibration there. Oh, look. It's a box on the phone. It is kind of boxy. I mean, the way, looking at it, it looks nice too. I like the way the black and white come together here. I like the black up front and the white on the sides. I think that is a rather elegant design. Of course, there's the back, with the camera. That's really, honestly, Nokia has been known for the cameras. Of course, Carl Zeiss lenses built in from almost the beginning of time. My first camera phone was a Nokia. A long time ago, long before smartphones existed. Sim error, yeah, I'm not going to worry about that. Ooh, nice and responsive. Let's get started. Let's get it started. Ha. Okay, that's the only bit of singing I'm going to do for you here. English is already selected next. It reminds me of the sim again. Do I want to accept the Windows Phone terms of use? Sure. I'll just use the recommended settings. Send my location to Microsoft when my phone is activated. Sure, why not? Sign in. It's asking me to sign in right now. So do you guys mind if I take a second? I'm going to try signing in here. Makes it a little more fun, especially when doing initial impressions. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I really like the Windows Phone 8 experience. And I think Microsoft's making the right moves. In fact, I was really disappointed when Microsoft announced Windows 8 and Windows RT, and specifically the Surface. I was hoping they were going to take the Windows Phone 8 experience and blow it up into a tablet experience. That I would really like to see. I shouldn't hold my breath, but I would really like to see that coming down the pike from Microsoft, or Redmond, which is right around the corner from where I live. I live in the Seattle area. I don't know if you knew that. All right, let's see here. I think I get everything okay. Can't connect. Oh, you know why I can't connect? Because I haven't connected to Wi-Fi yet. If it knew I didn't have a SIM, why wouldn't it say, hey, why don't you get on this other network instead? Setting up your phone. A few more apps need to finish. Okay, I've been in an initial setup before where Microsoft's done this or Windows Phone has done this. It's setting up apps. Why didn't you do that at the factory, man? It's like, really? You're installing things that you've already installed. Okay. I think Microsoft still wants this to be a PC. Oh, well, I'm rooting for them. I'm hoping they can succeed. I posted a poll in the free Locker Gnome app for Android and iOS, although right now Android users are waiting for an update for that. I don't know if you guys knew that. Locker Gnome had a free app available. Want it to come to Windows Phone. Unfortunately, the service I use is not supporting Windows Phone at this time, mobileroadie.com. I still love them, and the free Locker Gnome app is free on iOS and Android, so... Did you guys get the push notification that I scheduled before? Let me see if I can find my... I've got too many phones around here. Hang on, there's still... Okay, you wanted me to drop it. There you go. It's got some grip to it. It doesn't feel like it's going to slide out of my hands, but you can definitely feel the weight when you're holding onto the phone like this. I know I had another phone here somewhere. My wife just texted me. She was in a tornado. And it's still getting set up. Okay. Who took my phone? Someone took my phone. Do you guys see it anywhere? I'm not even joking either. No, it's my vlog camera. There's still a thing with the... Okay, I guess I can't find my other phone. I'm just going to hold this up and let you know that this Locker Gnome Daily Report was brought to you by GoToMeeting with HD Faces. It's how I meet with my team online with GoToMeeting by Citrix. You can collaborate in HD video, and your team stays on the same page by sharing the same screen. Just turn on your webcam. Still waiting. You can launch or join a meeting using your computer, phone, or tablet. Even present from your iPad. That's not a dirty word around here. And, if you want to try GoToMeeting like I use GoToMeeting, I use it to connect with people I work with. Locker Gnome or Vlogger Fair. You guys know I'm holding a YouTube event in Seattle, June 8th and 9th. You should come in person. But I'm meeting with my team using GoToMeeting virtually because we can't all fit into my office. You can try GoToMeeting free for 30 days. Head over to GoToMeeting.com, click the Try It Free button, and use the promo code Pirillo. Plus, one of you is going to get this Logitech B525 HD webcam and the opportunity to have a 30-minute face-to-face go-to meeting with me that will also be shared in this YouTube channel. All you have to do to enter is head over to Twitter and tell me what you would like to talk about if we were to do an HD Faces go-to meeting, face-to-face, you and me, in this channel. We'll do that, or one of you will. So propose your idea on Twitter using the hashtag Pirillo webcam and the hashtag go-to meeting to qualify if you've ever wanted to talk to me about whatever. And it's still setting up the phone. At least, you know what they could have done? Here's a suggestion for Windows Phone 8.1 or 9 or whatever. Hold music. Why not play some Bach or Beethoven? Oh, we're done. All the apps have finished installing. No, wait. We're almost done. Okay. Just about done. Oh, they're going to set up wireless backup services. I'm not going to do that, obviously. Not now, because it's related to Verizon stuff. Privacy, caution, automatic phone updates, absolutely all done. Done! And there she is. In singing glory. Phone restart required. Okay. That was fast. Goodbye. At this point, I have to wonder, does it even want me to do an initial impressions? I mean, other than the hardware, which is fantastic, and the software, which I also love. We will see, though, how the marriage between the hardware and the software does work. I can tell you, just looking at these two devices side by side, you got a 4.3-inch screen on the HTC Windows Phone 8X and a 4.5-inch screen. Same resolution, I do believe, 1280 by 720. Although I think the 8X has a slightly higher PPI, I'd be more inclined to use this device as a media device, like not just consuming, so having it as a larger screen or having a larger screen, but also taking pictures. And I really am very excited to try that Xenon Flash. Sim error, yes, it keeps reminding me. I wish I could like turn that off. All right, scrolling up and down seems clean enough. When I'm scrolling with my finger, it almost seems to be dropping some frames in the scroll, which I'm not really accustomed to. Once I let go, the scroll itself is smooth. Once I tap and scroll off, very smooth. But if I scroll while holding down, it's a little jittery. It's jank. I don't know if that's going to be prevalent, as it may be doing stuff in the background. I have no idea. As time wears on, I will know more. Screen is definitely vibrant. It is definitely bright. Let's go ahead and see if I can find the camera icon somewhere here. Do you guys see the camera icon? This is the problem, and I've mentioned this before, when I've customized so many different devices, I put icons in different places. Found it. All right. Do you want the camera to use your location? Sure, why not? Tap. Bam. There we go. And let's scroll that way. Took a nice little photo there. Pretty quick. Seemed to do pretty good. I mean, just holding it steady. Not a lot of blur, not a lot of glare, especially where there happen to be other lights. That's a pretty good job, just for holding it and pointing and shooting. Because that's what you're doing. You know, you're running gun, you're pointing, shooting. Not everybody has time to set up the shot, right? You just want to point, shoot, and be done with it. And so it seems that the lens has captured enough light to minimize the amount of blur indoors, just in that quick shot that I took. So heading back to the home screen. Is there anything else you guys would like to know before I go ahead and close this out? Is it comfortable to hold? Glad you asked that question. I'm holding it like this right now. I mean, obviously you would not twist your arm to hold the phone, but I'm just showing you that it's resting right here in my palm, and I can say that I probably wouldn't want to hold it like this way for long. It's almost large enough to enter phablet territory, as a matter of fact. Let me grab one of my recent acquisitions. Where'd it go? Here we go. Okay. This one, the LG Optimus G Pro G. Didn't I say that was a drinking game if I got the name wrong again? Unboxed this live in this channel the other day. Love this device. Yeah, okay, so not exactly phablet-ish, but it's pretty large. It's a large phone. You know, I can't really compare the two. If only because one's running Android in a customized version of Android, and the other one's running Windows Phone 8. Yeah, things keep falling out of my hands. It's large. It's comfortable holding like this, I think, and I can hold on to it like this for a while. Although, you know, it is starting to feel not heavy, but I've definitely held on to lighter devices, largely because of the body or the construct, the actual chassis. And you know, if you use plastic, it's going to be lighter. If you use metal, it may not be as light. So yeah, it's starting to feel heavy now. Holding on to it for a while. Yeah, those sharper edges. It's not sharp. They're not sharp. They're sharper. Not as curved as the Nokia Lumia 920. And you know, I've had a Nokia Lumia 820 and a 900. I believe it was those two. Check your pocket for phone. I did. Thank you. I was checking. I got my wallet in my pocket. Thank you for saying that. Would you recommend a Windows Phone over other smartphones in the market now? We actually did an article about this on LockerGnome.com just this week. Someone switched from Android to Windows Phone, and while he misses some things about Android, he's happier with his Windows Phone overall. You know, if you don't get hung up on the lack of apps that are available on Windows 8, and that is a distinct, you know, possibility. You may be frustrated that you can't get to the apps that you want to get to. I think Google's done a better job, you know, approaching the ecosystem the way they have compared to Microsoft. And they're really kind of in the same boat. This thing keeps dinging, and I don't know why. I'm not online, so it's warning me of something else. You know, if I wasn't someone who lived, you know, across all the platforms, it would be compelling for me to look at Windows Phone 8 on a good device with good hardware, good camera. It'd be very... Wait, it's my LG. It's the other phone that's talking to me right now. That one is online. Probably warning me that people are circling me on Google Plus now that they've updated the... Yes, shut up. They updated the interface today. You know, it's compelling. The Windows... To answer your question, is I kind of like waddled through it. But switching outright is difficult to do. When you're trapped... Okay, hate to say that word, but when you're locked's another bad word. When you are in one ecosystem over another, you've bought apps, you've you know, used their services. It's difficult to make that leap. So if, like, let's say you used Google's All Access for music, well, that's only available at this point on Android. They're not really adopting Windows Phone 8. So if you like Google, I don't know if Windows Phone 8 would be for you. If you don't mind, you know, not living inside of Google, or a smartphone is just a smartphone, then yeah, I think it's compelling. But I've spoken to that point as well. It is very difficult to look at a device as a device unto its own. Like, this is not just an island. It is an island in an archipelago of devices. It's how this phone interoperates with other things that I might have. It's not just a phone. It's a part of an ecosystem. And Google gets that. Microsoft definitely gets that. Hello, Xbox 360s. Apple certainly gets that. They're following Apple's lead. Even to a certain degree, Samsung. You know, which, by the way, it was probably more profitable with Android in the last quarter or even the last year than Google was. Samsung's done a lot for Android, so when they move on from using Android on Samsung devices to Tizen, haven't heard it spoken a lot. Tizen and Qi. You read these words on the web and you never actually hear them spoken aloud. Let's go ahead and unlock it. Yeah, it's smooth when I let go, but as I'm scrolling, like, jump. I noticed the smallest things. So let me go ahead, and I think I answered as many of questions as I possibly could without belaboring any points. I definitely want to keep this quick and easy and painless, or as painless as possible for anybody who's watching this not so live. Thank you again for following. Thank you for paying attention to the impending media uploads that I'm going to be creating with this particular device. I'm going to take a picture of something, and my reference point's probably going to be an iPhone, because the iPhone camera is stellar. This camera should be equally as stellar, and I will let you guys decide for yourself. I'm not trying to make a political statement. I'm not trying to say there's one clear winner over another. Everybody makes different decisions for themselves. Who am I to say what you should spend your money on? I can only give you my experiences. That's really what I'm here to do. Is it protective when you drop it? Yes, it's protected. Feels protected. It looks protected. I don't really know how to answer the question. I'm not going to throw it up against the wall, unfortunately. All I can get is 144p. This is horrible. Oh, you're talking about the live stream? I'm sorry. If you come back and watch it, hopefully you can watch it in its 720p glory on your own Windows phone, or Android phone, or iOS device. I believe in living cross-platform, because when someone only speaks from one platform all the time, just can't trust them. You got to talk to people. You got to interact with people who've had other experiences. I'm always open to new experiences. And I'm always going to be that way. The day I want to stop learning is really the day I die. And hopefully that's not going to happen anytime soon. So thank you again for subscribing. Thank you for liking. We're up to 200 likes now by the end of this video. Thank you for doing that. Thank you for following on all the networks and just being yourself and appreciating the way that I do things, if you really do appreciate the way that I do things. We'll see you later.